What up, peoples? We're here on the second part of the clearing. Well, the next 2 acres anyway. I've kind of got started up in here. It's really tight up in this road. I thought it was a little more open than it is, but I guess now that the trees have, all the trees have put back their leaves, it looks a lot thicker than what it did a couple weeks ago. I'm gonna kind of walk up in here and kind of get my bearings, but it's basically the width of the house or the yard up here all the way back to that little cleared road. It's gonna be just the same as it was what I just got through with. Actually, it looks like it's more. Probably some bigger trees in here. I can't see the house. It's done got so thick in here. I'm gonna have to walk up in there, but anyway, it's the same stuff as what I just got through clearing. I know that took entirely too long, but my gosh, it will not quit raining. I got about 3 good days to start on this, and then it's supposed to rain for the next 5 days after that. So this is probably going to be the same stuff. But yeah, this in here looks like it's got a lot of this smaller sweet gums and small hickories. But yeah, let me walk up here and get my bearings, and then let's get to clearing. So I'm gonna kind of show y'all where I'm sitting here. Let me get my camera set up. I'll show y'all roughly. I know it's gonna glare. If I can fix that. Alright, that's a little better. Alright, so here's his house. Of course, you can see where I'm sitting. So let's measure. I need to pull up just a little bit more, but roughly from right here at this corner, I'm gonna go straight back kind of to where I'm sitting. Over to about right there. This is roughly so that's roughly, you can see there, it's 1.3 acres. Thought it was actually a little bit bigger, but when I drew it on the map, I wasn't for sure how far back this road was, so I probably actually went a little bit further back. It's going to be about 1.3 to 1.5 acres. I have to leave a buffer right here by this field, and then he wants a buffer between like here, kind of where I'm sitting, and around in here is what I just cleared. The 2 acres right in here, I think, is actually a little bit more than 2 acres. So anyway, that's what we got going on, is this right here. You can kind of see basically his yard straight back to this little cleared path back here to where I'm sitting at now. So I'm gonna probably start right in there, and I'm gonna try to use this road to my advantage and lay stuff in it and keep walking into the woods to get me some room. I think what really slowed me down on the last clearing was having to drag that stuff out of the woods and it getting all tangled up and stuff. And what I'm going to do too on this one, instead of just wasting time trying to break it up with an excavator, these trees are so freaking long. The excavator has no problem breaking them up. It's just they're so long. I think it's going to be quicker for me to lay down a bunch and then come through with a chainsaw and just chainsaw it. And I would really like to make several piles to burn, but the problem with that is when you're burning green stuff, it's hard to keep it going wants to shut down. It's hard to keep it going if you can't get to the piles and keep them stacked. And when you got a bunch of little piles like that everywhere, you spend more time running around keeping the fire stacks than you do actually working, you know, getting stuff on the ground. And I know some of you suggested, why don't I just keep the trees full length and get them to the fire? Well, that's impossible when you have no room to swing a 60 to 80 foot tall tree. I think these trees may be a little taller than you'll realize. You just can't swing that tree around as easy as you might think you could. And this machine, I know this machine can throw a lot of weight around, but even that long of a tree, it's going to struggle with it. Because I did try it a time or two, and it took me way longer to try to maneuver that long of a tree around in such a tight area. If I had a straight shot in and out, yeah, it'd be no problem. But still, it's way more aggravating trying to move a whole tree than it is it broke up and bunched up. But let me start laying some stuff down and see if I can get some work done today. It's kind of weird, like there was no hickory trees kind of where I just cleared from. But like when you get over in here, just, you know, 100 yards away, there's just hickory trees all in here. I don't know, some of you know how aggravating hickory trees are. They don't really break, they just bend and twist. So I imagine this one's going to be fun over in here. The small ones ain't no problem. It's just these bigger ones that I need out of my way right now are going to be fun. Usually they're a pain in the butt to get out of the ground too, but luckily this ground is pretty soft, so they should pull up pretty easy. About the only thing that's been good about this job is the ground is still pretty soft. Just when you first start opening this stuff up, you just feel really claustrophobic in here. At least I do anyway. I gotta be careful not to tail swing into anything. I forget what the tail swing is on this machine. It does seem like these trees are a little bit more spaced out over here. They're just a little bit bigger. So it's kind of a trade-off between smaller stuff. Thicker stuff. See, I'm gonna run out of room pretty quick. See that pine right there? That would be a bigger one compared to the ones we just cleared, but over here it's about average, it looks like. There'll be a lot of chainsaw work on this clearing. other day, or yesterday, kind of how much rainfall we've already had. And I don't know if I read it right or not, but it looks like it's already what our yearly average is. For like 115 days, it said that we've already got nearly 60 inches of rain. Said I don't know if I read it right, but that's what it showed. I can believe it. It's like, my gosh. Think I don't never work, but you just can't do nothing when it's raining. I know everybody else has been complaining about it too, so it ain't just me. Okay, I'm starting to get a little bit on the ground here. I'm starting to open it up. Give me some room to work. I really need to get some of those. I need to get this cleaned up so I can cut me a straight line, and I'll have more room to lay in the road here. So I'm gonna fire up the chainsaw and get some of that cut up. Man, it's bad wet in here. I already see water running out top of the ground. I brought both 261s with me. This is my older one that I've done a review on. I forgot how long ago that was. Probably about nearly a year now. I don't know. But she's still running strong. I haven't done anything to her but put a chain on it and gas and oil. And there's my other 261. Both have been really good saws. So let's get to work. Y'all, I was back there working and I seen something walking through the woods and had to come check out and see what it is. I think this poor girl's lost. Y'all, give me a minute. I'm gonna have to see what she wants. She may need some help. Okay, let me show y'all what I got going on here. I finally got me enough room to lay some stuff back there. I'm already working on a second row from the tree line there, but what I'm doing is I'm going through here and I'm laying the trees up in the woods, and then I'm grabbing my chainsaw and just kind of making a fan pattern up through there, and then I'll take my excavator and walk down through here and take all this stuff and set it to the left of me there. That seems to be working the best and most economical, instead of having to drag the trees out one at a time and break them up. I'm just kind of working them like that, and whenever I get to like up in there, I'm not worrying about up in there yet until I get to it. And, that seems to be working the best and quicker than what I was doing before. So I'm getting a good bit done, I feel like. So let's run through here with a chainsaw. Alright, so I got everything chainsawed up. Got my saw stuck one time. So what I'll do is just take everything and set it to the side over here. Once I get so far up in the tree, I don't really have to worry about chainsawing anymore because the excavator is plenty big enough to snap it with no problem. But it's just, I've just about learned it's quicker to just get out and saw it a time or two than it is to try to drag the tree out and break it up. The only bad thing about this right now is I'm going to have to handle the material, you know, at least 2 more times until I can get me an area big enough to start a fire. You can see I'm already, once I get this first the butt cut gone, I'm up to the next row of trees. I just continue this process on down. I think this is going to work. This is going to work better. Try to keep my piles somewhat organized right now. That way they're not getting all tangled up. So when I do break or set them back apart, they're not so aggravating to get back apart. What I got to do this time is I got to get further away from the. Make sure I'm not going to tail swing in anything. I got to get it further away from the tree line there so I don't catch the woods on fire. Even though I'm not in any kind of danger of it right now for sure, but it is starting to be a lot better weather than it was when I first set the fire on the other clearing. It's drying out faster. But it ain't gonna dry out if it's still raining every day. All that I ain't gonna mess with right now because it's still tangled up in the trees. But like here's the top of another tree, almost the top of it, that I've kind of made it up to. Kind of start me another pile right there. Stuff I can just break them like that. Don't have to worry about chainsawing all that little stuff. Still can't see the house hardly. I can barely see it, but I can't really tell where my clearing line is going to be. So I know I've got to go, I think, a little bit further in front of me. So it's going to get a little bit narrower as I'm going because I still can't see the line. I may get down here and pull up on the map and kind of see where I'm sitting at, but a couple more runs like this and I should I should be far enough in that I can start figure out where my burn pile is going to be. I can't get just too close to the woods over here, but then again, I can't get too close to the house. We should be fine though. Should be fine either way. Once I get down closer on this end, it starts turning into more saplings and stuff. I need to get away from this tree before I swing into it. There we go. I've gotten a lot on the ground already. Sure adds up quick when you can't put it on the fire. Well, it adds up quick too when it's thick as hell. Okay, I got that all cleaned up. Well, not cleaned up. Stacked up anyway. See, this corner is a little bit of a mess, but I'm not going to worry about that right now because I need to figure out how far that way I've got to go. So I'm not going to worry with that. I'm just going to keep making my way. So, see, now that I got that cleaned up and on my way back to the other end, come through here and I'll just push over the trees. Let's make me another line down through here. Kind of drag them out a little bit, that way I don't have to struggle when I make my first cut anyway. Learn this is kind of about patience. Don't worry about the tree you can't get to right now. Just let it sit there until you can get to it. I know that sun's gonna be rough up there. It's hard for me to leave a tree laying on the ground and not drag the whole thing out at one time, but really it just eats up time. You're having to dodge other trees and stuff like that to get the tree out. That one's already cut. Make one more cut in it and then I'll be to the top of it. But like this little stuff, I'll go ahead and grab it and get it out of the way. That way I don't have to duck and dodge limbs when I'm up in there cutting. trees won't break, and then the sweet gums break too easy. Trees are a lot easier to deal with once you get to the side of them and not looking at them straight up and down, or you're parallel to them and not vertical to them, or however you want to say it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Try to keep your tree line in a straight line, or as straight as line as you can, and not get it all staggered. Just makes it a lot easier to walk through and chainsaw, and more uniform. Trying to get better about not worrying about what the ground looks like right now. That way I'm not wasting time on the excavator with it either. I just make one swoop through with a dozer, and it'll be back somewhat straightened up. I did that a lot on the last clearing, as I was wasting time trying to break old habits, you know. Now that I see what that dozer can do, and what I can do with it now, just kind of not having to worry about stuff right now. Kind of going to be in a dilemma too when that rain hits again. Whether this stuff is still sitting on the ground, or me trying to get a fire going and get it on the fire. I really hope the weather kind of changes between now and then. I guess I'll know more about it come Thursday. Whether if I need to hurry up and build a fire and get it at least on the fire, get something going to try to help make it through the rain, or just not worry with it and let it dry on out later. Take this tree down, and then I'm gonna have some more chainsaw work to do. Might take down one more up in there. there for a second. A little bit out of whack. Most of them logs right there are already cut. Sure has been a pretty day though. Can't complain about that. Thank the good Lord for some sunshine. I think I'm gonna knock down these two trees right here and then I'll do some more chainsaw work. That way I can get up in there and get to the side of them. Well, I feel like I've got a really good start to the first day on this project. Got several more laid down, and I can see the yard up in there, but still can't really tell where I'm at. But anyway, my day's gonna get cut short as usual. I got to go bail Rookie out. Y'all hang around, let's see what he's got. Alright, so I'm at Rook's place here. I don't know where that fool is. He called me and said he had some lime delivered, and that my sister called and said water was running across the road. I said, yep, dump truck drivers. So I think it's blowing up right here. So I'm gonna dig down and see. I don't know where his meter is. Maybe that may be it right there. I don't know if that's water or electric. Should be water. All right, well, I'm gonna dig down and see what's going on. Man, I tell you what, I'm on the wrong end of the brother-in-law thing. I need to be on his end. I'm about to tell Lisa to divorce him. I'm tired of this relationship.